Porsche AG is a world-famous automobile manufacturer of sport cars that range from decent mid-engine vehicles to hybrid supercars. The company is based out of Stuttgart, Germany, and formed in 1931. The company is accredited with developing and producing the Volkswagen Beetle. During World War II, the company produced a militarized version of the Beetle and developed some tank designs for the German army. After the war, the company focused on cars, and eventually turning all of its attention to sport cars and race cars. Today, their vehicles are well known for being quality sports cars and are popular among both car enthusiasts and race car drivers. Over their long history of producing automobiles, Porsche designed and produced many great vehicles. Currently, their most expensive production vehicle is the $929,000 918 Spider with the Weiss Edge package. This vehicle is an unbelievable testament to where Porsche has come as a company, as the hybrid supercar is class-leading. However, this is not the most expensive Porsche that has been sold. We are going to take a look at the most expensive Porsches in history, all of which are classics. Number 5. The 1960 Porsche 718 Res 60, $3.465 million. The Porsche 718 was an open-air race car that was produced between the years of 1957 and 1962. The vehicle was extremely successful in many races that drivers rode it in, and it took first place from many other vehicles. Within 4 seasons of being introduced, the vehicle took 12 class wins alone. The particular 718's question was a variant of the Res 60, and it was unveiled in 1960. The vehicle had a 1,498 c-doke 4-cylinder engine type 5733, a 5-speed manual transaxle, disc brakes, and 150 brake horsepower. Outside of the racing world, only 14 of these cars were built for customers. The Res 60 that was sold was also kept in amazing condition. So given the history this vehicle has had, the condition of, and how limited it was, it is no surprise why this car was sold for $3,465,000 in an auction back in 2012. Number 4. The 1955 Porsche 550, $3.7 million. The next vehicle that we are going to look at is the Porsche 550. These vehicles were produced from 1953-1956, and they would be the car to be replaced by the previous model examined. These open-cockpit race cars were another extremely successful vehicle from the company. Over the entire history of its racing career, the 550 would see 370 races, 95 wins, and 75 class wins. The 550 was actually faster than vehicles that were ranked higher at the time. Back in 2012, at a Gooding co-auction, a particular model from 1955 was sold in an auction for an impressive $3.7 million. Number 3. The 1970 Porsche 917 Militarized Spider, $3.967 million. Often regarded as the world's greatest sports car, the Porsche 917 and its multiple variants were easily some of the best vehicles the company has ever produced, even by today's standards. From here on out, you will notice a pattern with our list, as the remaining vehicles are all 917s. The original Porsche 917s were first introduced in the late 1960s. However, it wasn't until 1970 that this vehicle would make a massive impact. These cars would provide the company with their first wins at the 24 Hours of Le Mans endurance race in both 1970 and 1971. The various versions of the 917 were outfitted with either a 4.5, 4.9, or a 5.0-liter flat 12 engine. Some of the higher-end variants could produce well over 1,300 horsepower, which is a feat few cars can achieve today. The third most expensive Porsche ever was the Militarized Spider variant from 1970. This car was tracked and raced back in the day, and it sold in a Bonham auction for $3,967,000. Number 2. The 1973 Porsche 917, $4.4 million. Next up, we have the amazing 917 30 Spider from 1973. This particular variant was sold back in 2012 at an auction for $4.4 million, making it the second most expensive Porsche ever sold. This variant of the 917 was also one of the fastest versions ever produced. The vehicle could achieve speeds of 240 miles per hour, and it could accelerate from 0-60 miles per hour in an absurd 2.3 seconds. And it could go from 0-124 miles per hour in just 5.3 seconds. Just take that in for a second. This is a vehicle produced in 1973 that is faster than nearly all modern supercars, including the highest-performing Bugatti Veyrons. If you were back in the 1970s, this vehicle was insane, and it still is. Number 1. The 1972 Porsche AM $917 $5.83 million. The final vehicle on this list is the Porsche AM917/10 Spider, which is yet another variant of the 917, this time coming from 1972. There's not much more to be said about these vehicles, honestly. At the time, they were the best race cars in their class, and still are able to beat out most vehicles today in terms of performance. This particular model saw racing action, and it was piloted by George Fulmer back in the day. It was sold at a Mecum auction for $5.83 million in 2012, making it the most expensive Porsche ever sold. So these were 5 most expensive Porsche cars in history. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.